I know I've been away for a while, but I'm back. Pelu is back, okay? Hello, friends. Hello, Ditsala. This is Pelu. Welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to attempt to do a story time. So on the 12th of November 2022, me and my husband, we were turning 30 years in marriage. Ne? So I think if you watched my other videos when I did, tips on relationships and marriage, I did mention, I think in one of my videos, the previous ones, that we were turning 29. Ne? Yes, so we did reach 30 years. 3 decades, guys, into this thing. So I was like, what should I do, in commemoration of our anniversary? I'm like, okay, let me do a story time where I will be sharing how I met my husband. Yes, so I'm going to share with you how I met this guy. So this is how I met my husband. We were at school. At school they had some function that allowed the outside people to come in, because this school had a residential area, so I was staying at the school. Now when I was on my way to this function, I see a Kombi parked right outside the hall where I was going to enter. So as I was approaching, the entry point, I had to pass by this Kombi. Now, when I was passing by, I hear my friends calling me from inside. I could hear by the voice that this is my friend. That's like, hey, Dinonjes. They call me Dinonjes at school. Dinonjes. So when I looked, I'm like, my friend, what are you doing in there? So when I looked, there were a few gentlemen in the car, in that Kombi. Now, there were 2 of my friends. I got to find out now when I moved closer. These friends of mine, I'm going to call them Z and T. Ne? So I was called by Z to come inside the car. What? So when I looked, I find T is seated at the front. She was sitting with the driver. Now, they say, no, come, let's chill a bit before we get inside. So I get inside and then we just chilled in this Kombi. Then a few minutes later, we come inside the hall and then these guys here are still there, and then we come in and out, it's just, that vibe that things were going on, it's nice, the music is playing, them two inside the Kombi are playing their own music, and then it was just like, wow, monat nje going now on. T, this one that was seated at front with the driver, says to us, no man, let's go to this place, somewhere else there, it's very nice, you're gonna have a good time, so let's go. What? Hey, there we go. We are going now somewhere because they are still busy here. And normally the hostels were closing, around, I think it was 8 or somewhere there. But because there's a function now, it was like kind of like a free day, out. So it's me and T and Z and the other friend of ours that we kind of like roped in and said, hey, let's go. And then we were going. Hey, we get to the place. When we get to the place, T now gets off. Remember, T is seated at the front. T is getting off the Kombi, going into some places around the place that we were at. So this place had some kind of like, it was kind of like a hotel type of a situation. Only to find that T was going after her boyfriend. Now, at first, we did not know this. So T goes out there and disappears, and we're like, what's happening? What's happening? We get off the car and we go and look for T. Only to find T, guys, only to find T breaking some car there with a brick, because now apparently she went there to see her boyfriend. only to find that the boyfriend was busy with someone else. So now T got angry and she took some stones and bricks and whatever and she was breaking the car and stuff like that. Now we go back to the Kumbi, like, hey guys, happy it's happening out there. There's trouble out there. T is busy breaking somebody's car. Probably, apparently she found her boyfriend with another girlfriend. So that's when the drama started. And we were like, hey guys, let's go because hey, this is not right. What is happening out there? And we left her there and then we went back to school where the original function was at. As we get inside the Kumbi, the driver now says to me, no, come sit here. So I'm like, okay. I come to the front, I sit at the front. And then we are going back to school. That time is late now. It's late. We didn't even, get the chance to do what we wanted to do there because we went there, remember, to have a good time. The next thing, we sit in the car and T is nowhere to be found. After a while, we go and look for her only to find trouble. So time passed. So the next thing, Z was not staying with us at the res. So we had to drop Z off at her house. Only me and this other friend of mine, we were staying at res. So these guys took us back to the residential area. When we got there, the function was already over and people were sleeping. So me and my friend were locked outside. So we come back to the car and tell the guys, hey guys, they have locked us out. So like we don't know where are we going to sleep. We don't know where to go. We don't have anywhere to go to, especially at that time. I think it was around 3 a.m., something like that. Now the driver says, no, we can go at my place and then we'll bring you in the morning. I'm like, say what? No, 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 we're not going anywhere. We rather sleep outside or stand wherever, and wait for them to open up in the morning because I think they were opening up at around 5 a.m. The driver was like, no, 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 you can't be standing around, rather sleep in the car then. We will sleep with you in the car. We will wait for you. He said. So they were sitting there and we were sitting in the car, from that time. Now we are tired. Remember we also were taking some drinks there, so we were also kind of like drunk. So now we're sitting there and waiting for the time to pass so that the 5 o'clock can come, so that we get off and come inside. We had to be discreet also when, arriving inside the hostel. So while we are waiting in the car there, I'm tired now, I'm sleeping, and like, so the driver says, no, you can put your head on my lap, or what? So just to rest a bit. So I'm like, okay, put my head on the lap and I'm like catching some sleep there and stuff. So when the time came now that for us to go to get off, tell them, no, it's time for us to now go. Thank you guys, thank you so much for taking care of us and whatnot. And then now the driver now tells me that, so when am I going to see you? I'm like, when are you going to see me? Like, for what? And it's like, no, I've been watching you. Man, I've been watching you even yesterday, when we were there at that other place, and all that. So I kind of like liked you, so can we now be friends or more than friends or whatever he said at the time. So I'm like, okay. So it's like, okay, so when can I come and check you out? I'm like, okay, you can come and check us out in the afternoon. That time it was Sunday. I think, yeah, it was Sunday. So he says, no, we'll come in the afternoon. And then he's like, now kissing Yana. I'm like, kissing Yana, I would, no, no kissing Yana. We'll talk when you come in the afternoon. So now we had to get off and then they get moving. So we managed to get inside without being noticed. We go inside and we sleep, and then, yeah, you know how it is when you come back home late. You are tired, so you first start by paying back the sleep. So we slept like the whole afternoon. I mean, the whole morning. In the after, we didn't even wake up to go eat. So now late, that kumbi comes, So when it comes, somebody calls, hey, somebody's looking for you outside there. And I remembered, oh, that guy, I told him to come in the afternoon. Okay. So now I go and meet with this guy. And then this guy was like, no, let's go to town. And then, yeah, it was during the day, we were kind of like allowed to go wherever we want to go. So then I went with this guy to town. He bought me ice cream and then we talked, came back. He parked outside again, I'm still in like on a free period that time. So we talked with this guy and then he again said to me, yesterday I was eyeing you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay, right. And then the rest is history, guys. That's how short and long it is. Now, when I get the story right, is that these people in this combi, they came with two of my friends, Z and T. They were coming from wherever they are coming from. They met somewhere out there. So the driver was eyeing T, and then also T was kind of like led him, to think that there could be something. So hence this guy took her to some place where she said, no, let's go and chill, guy. And then we went there only to find that he was taking her to her boyfriend while he's here eyeing her, thinking that something could come out of that. Only to find that God had, I don't know if to put God in the mix, that God had other plans for him. So that's how I got to meet my husband. So in that afternoon that he came to check on me, that's when he now was sober, because I also thought the things that he was saying, during that time before, it was kind of like it was just drinks talking. So this time around he was sober and he was like kind of like, so he was a gentleman, spoke softly, and I was like, okay, he's kind of like caring, and he sounds sweet and he sounds very soft, and yeah, let me give him a chance. So yeah, we dated for a year, and then here we are, 30 years down the line, and we are still on it. We're still on it. So this is my story, and I'm sticking by it. So we met 1991 towards the end, I think, and then we dated for a few months. I think it's almost a year, because we got married on 1992 November the 12th. Yes. Remember, the lobola was around 22 May 1992, and then we got married November the 12th, 1992, which makes it 30 years today, So yeah, guys, that's my story, and that's the long and short of it. See, nothing complicated. Told you. I hope you enjoyed my story. And then thank you so much for sticking around until the end. I hope I did not confuse you guys about the story, because I had to drag some things, from the memory box. I had to retrieve some things that are like, 30 years old. So yeah, I thank you so much, my friends, for your love and support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and thank you for the love, man. I thank you for the love, and I love you, right? I love you, and may God bless you. All in all, please comment down on the comment section, telling me or sharing with me how you met your partner, if you are having a partner or something like that. Like, how did you meet? If you are married, how did you meet your husband? Um, make it spicy. And don't leave other things out, because I know sometimes when we tell stories, we leave some other parts that are kind of like, I'm like, oh, I'm not sharing this. But fortunately for me, there was nothing, you know, so interesting or so kind of like, out of the ordinary to share. It was just as simple as that. Okay. So again, thank you for watching. I will see you on the next video. I hope I did well, guys. Give me some marks, for telling the story. I don't know if I told it, interestingly enough, because yeah, it's just that simple, man. Nothing complicated about this story here. So yeah, thank you for watching again. I love you again. See you in the next one. Mwah.